My dad was a British war veteran. He was seriously injured during his service and he couldn't work afterwards. He spent the next 20 years fighting for compensation against the British government. He taught me that you have to fight hard for justice, but you never give up.
This overzealous parking attendant arrived on the scene and booked us all, about 8 altogether, and my neighbour, whose car was also booked, she confronted him and she said, "What's going on here?" He said, "Well, look, I checked out with the supervisor and the supervisor said, book them all."
What inspired me to start Fine Defender was when I realised that unfair fines should be withdrawn. A fine's unfair if you have a reasonable explanation for what happened or if you have a good record.
Yeah, so I'm a student at Monash University. I got a parking fine there for around $100 and it was quite startling at first because as a student on subsistent income it's quite hard to accommodate for a fine like that.
Fine Defender is important to me because we're driven by fairness. We want every unfair fine to be dismissed. We set up an affordable online legal service 5 years ago to restore justice to the system.
Back when I was working in the disability services industry, I got one when I was taking my clients out and the spot was a disabled spot after 12 p.m. Got there a little bit earlier and a slight misjudgment on my behalf, but I felt that it was very unfair and unjust given that I was doing my part for the community and I got punished.
This is important to Australians because people are paying fines when they don't need to. People may not realise that they can challenge those fines and they may not know that if a fine's unfair, it must be withdrawn.
I was an Uber driver at the time and driving along in Carlton pretty early in the morning. Had a couple of passengers with me as well and came to an intersection with a fixed camera and the camera's flashed and I go, "You're kidding me, I thought I hit the line right smack bang on amber and did everything safe."
Well, a majority of people are living paycheck to paycheck and a big fine can have a devastating effect on a household budget.
So the Monash Student Association was running a promotion for the students to appeal their unfair fines through Fine Defender and I just went through them.
Legal services in general are overpriced. We charge a small fee of $25 to $35 and that's all you'll ever pay. And we'll take care of all your paperwork until the fine is cleared. We're focused on justice and we'll fight for years to make sure our clients get a fair result.
3 Melbourne councils have been shamed into repaying almost $20 million to motorists issued with parking fines.
Organisations can become addicted to the revenue and then that influences their decisions which become illegal and improper.
You wrote several letters to the offending council. They just basically gave you the brush off both times. So you said, well, let's take it through to the Ombudsman because you were convinced that they were not following proper process.
What the law requires them to do is to make the decision themselves. And what went wrong for about 10 years is that a number of councils outsourced that decision-making to a private contractor.
The Victorian Ombudsman has now backed us up. Her investigation found that several councils were acting illegally. As a result of our work, 250,000 fines are now being withdrawn.
So initially Fine Defender sent through documents to the council, which was an unsatisfactory answer for us at the end. So we followed up and took that to court, resulting in the fine getting dismissed.
We have a team of people at Fine Defender. We have in-house legal expertise. We built the software ourselves, so we have our own in-house IT development team.
Yeah, it was really simple. All I had to do was answer a series of questions and then the Fine Defender system automatically compiled an appeal and sent it to the authority. Although it initially came back with a negative response, like a template letter, based on the Fine Defender escalation process, we managed to get a positive outcome.
With a bigger team, we can address the massive backlog of fines in the system, and with more investment, we can help more people across Australia.
We took over the appeal and we got the fines dismissed for you and all your neighbours.
Exactly. And we were so delighted at the way it finished up and we got justice.
As well as helping people in the cities, we're now reaching out to rural, remote and regional parts of Australia.
So am I going to be able to save my Uber career, save my licence and everything, and also save my wallet? So sought legal advice, did a quick online search, and lo and behold, on the first page on Google, a couple of doors down, there's Fine Defender, jumped on there, answered the questionnaire. They said, good news, you can appeal your fine, and the rest is history.
COVID-19 has changed all of our lives. For many, it has increased their financial stress. More than ever, we need fairness in the fine system. Don't lie awake at night wondering where you're going to find the money to pay that fine. We would love you to come on board with us and be a part of our campaign to fight for justice. By joining us, you'll be helping yourselves, your your family, your friends and your neighbours get the legal representation you deserve.